Hey everyone, I'm Louis, and today we're diving into a hilarious tale of survival in space. After the Hermes successfully docked with space, Louis immediately reported Mark's missing status to NASA. Losing an astronaut is always tragic, but the director still decided to share this unfortunate news. Little did they know. Under pressure and storm, Mark miraculously survived. Though a bit bloody, his spacesuit was simply too tough. Luckily, the leaking blood acted like a patch, sealing the wound and reducing the pressure impact, but dealing with that belly injury was a top priority. Mark decisively stripped off his spacesuit, enduring the pain like a hero in a movie. It was painful, but hey, he survived. After patching up his wound, he finally sighed in relief. But what should he do next? That was the big question. All communication devices were down. He couldn't reach out to anyone. On Mars, he felt as lonely as a single dog. But he didn't give up. Instead, he started planning how to survive longer. Though this mission flopped, maybe there's the next one in 4 years. He knew he had to let NASA know he hadn't vanished while figuring out how to get more food. Thankfully, NASA prepared 68 days worth of food for each person, enough for him to survive more than a year. However, that food wouldn't suffice until the next space mission, indeed. That's quite a headache. While using the restroom, Mark suddenly had an epiphany and found the Thanksgiving potatoes. He constructed a Mars cannon inside the habitat and carefully buried the sliced potatoes in the simulated Martian soil. The temperature and nutrient issues were solved, but the biggest problem was water. Without it, survival was impossible. As an astronaut, Mark was also a botany and chemistry teacher, who knew he could help himself get water. Mark thought about making water using hydrogen and oxygen. Oxygen was no problem, but hydrogen, well, that was tricky. After a long think, he decided to utilize rocket fuel. Mars would finally have water. He carefully separated the hydrogen, ignited it, and with his chemistry knowledge, made water like it was no big deal. But he almost forgot one crucial detail. His exhaled oxygen would run out, so this time, Mark learned his lesson. Fully suited up, he ignited the flame and activated the water-making device. The plastic wrap outside looked like his water cart. Mark finally solved the irrigation issue. All he had to do was wait patiently for that rescue food. Mark was busily working on the facilities with a determined face, acting like an intergalactic governor. Little did he know, back on Earth, NASA was already planning a grand farewell ceremony for him. Even his athlete friends were giving speeches, believing Mark had heroically sacrificed for the mission. However, the communications officer monitoring Mars spotted something odd on the satellite feed. The monitoring rover, which was idling in the open, mysteriously showed up next to the habitat. The solar panels were spotless too. All signs indicated Mark might still be alive. Everyone was shocked to realize that the current technology could bring Mark back in a short period of time. They were indeed faced with a huge dilemma. Unless a spacecraft was sent in 4 years, everyone thought Mark might have perished from hunger. Realizing food was the main challenge, the director urgently called a meeting. They brainstormed a plan for fast supply delivery, and the battle was about to begin. The supply ship would take 6 months to build, but time waits for no one. With the current food stock, nobody was confident Mark could last that long. Little did they know, on Mars, Mark had successfully grown potatoes with his farming genius. What began as merely 10 potatoes unexpectedly multiplied into an astonishing count of over 20. He kept the biggest potatoes for food and sowed the smaller ones again. While enjoying the harvest, Mark didn't forget that leaving Mars was still his main goal. But with all communication devices out of order, exactly how could he convey the message of his survival back to Earth? He suddenly remembered the Pathfinder from 1997, which had precious equipment on board. Mark's mission was to find Pathfinder, but now he didn't even know which direction to go. Thankfully, while he couldn't remember much, he had all the time in the world for treasure hunting. He was busy caring for potatoes and searching for the Pathfinder, and he was thriving. NASA noticed he'd been heading in the same direction for 13 days, and Vincent finally grasped that something was up. He hurriedly took a flight to California, preparing to welcome the hero at the Pathfinder Development Center. They had the same receiving device as the one on Mars. Everything was looking up. Meanwhile, Mark located the Pathfinder's hiding spot. Talk about luck. After some fuss, he finally brought the device back to the habitat and activated the transmission command. Soon, the Pathfinder responded accordingly. This space interaction game was finally on. However, Mark was clueless about whether the probe was under control, which was a little nerve-wracking. In the end, Mark finally made contact with Earth using the probe. Don't forget to like and subscribe.